When I dragged this piece of furniture out of my shed, I remembered why it has been in there for almost a year. It's because of the base on this piece. I needed to rip it off and build a new base for this project. Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Melissa. I am the owner and artist here at the Top Drawer RVA located in Richmond, Virginia. And for today's project, we are going to make over this cute little dresser that really needs some serious TLC. It's structurally sound now that I've built a new base, but it's severely damaged with dings and holes all over the place. We do have all of the original hardware, which is a bonus, and a gorgeous pull-out tray on the top of the piece. So this could also double as a buffet in a living room or even in a hallway. As always, I clean every project with white lightning and rinse with water. Remove all of the existing hardware and then use my Dixie Belle's mud to fill in any of those deep scratches and holes on the top of the piece. Sanding it flat before I come in with my favorite product, Bonding Boss. So why not just scuff sand and get on with the painting? Well, because you saw me rebuild this base on the project. That means there are 2 to 3 different styles of wood on this piece. When painting, sometimes paint doesn't take the same to every style of wood, so Bonding Boss is going to be a great primer to use to make all of the wood pieces even Steven. This way, when I do paint, it will all be covered and look exactly the same. Also, using Bonding Boss over top of all of those little mud damages that I repaired is going to kind of lock in that Dixie Belle mud. That mud is water-based, so locking it in with Boss is totally helpful. And of course, using Bonding Boss before you paint is going to allow you to use less paint overall on your project. Since my choice of color for this piece is going to be fairly vibrant, using gray Bonding Boss really protects your piece and really gets it ready for less amounts of paint on the top. You might find that you'll use only 2 coats of paint versus 3 that you might need without priming first. I like to use a foam roller when possible when I use the Bonding Boss on my projects. Because it gives me a nice smooth application on my surface, it also allows me to give a slight sand before I paint, but I can also just throw this in the bin after I'm finished, right? 2 even coats, storing that roller in a plastic bag in between, and then just chucking in the garbage when I'm done. I mean, that's a total win for me. Don't forget you need to wait 24 full hours before you apply paint to your projects after you use 2 even coats of Bonding Boss. This piece didn't have a ton of repairs on it other than rebuilding the base with some scrap wood. I did add a new drawer glide to the top drawer so that it wouldn't slip and slide all over the place. Now here comes the color, which is actually a little crazy for me. I very rarely paint any form of red or orange. The other day when I was perusing my local IKEA, which I love, I saw this exact color everywhere. It was on pillows, it was on blankets, it was on accents. So it kind of gave me a little bit of a head start to 2025 and painting a color that I think is going to be very popular. I like to use a smooth synthetic brush when I apply my chalk mineral paint and a little bit of water, keeping it nice and smooth. This way the paint is a little bit thinned out and it goes on evenly. Ended up using 2 full even coats of rusty nail for this project. Now back to the hardware. I cleaned this with my white lightning, gave it a quick rinse, and then used spray paint. This is my kind of go-to easy peasy way to reuse original hardware and brighten it up to fit the color of this piece. When using chalk mineral paint, there are really no rules for sealing. You can seal it or you don't have to seal it, but for a piece like this that might get a little bit more heavy use, I chose to seal the entire piece with Dixie Belle's Clear Coat in satin, giving this red a beautiful shine. I reinstalled the original hardware and that color combination is to die for. I mean, gold and that beautiful rusty nail, it's perfection. For the slide out tray, I actually just taped it off and painted to the edge of the pull out tray, and the interior tray I just buffed and shined up with a little bit of How Do You Do hemp oil. I'm always a little nervous to paint something as bold and bright as a shade of red or orange, but this little piece went to my booth here at the Lazy Daisy in Richmond, Virginia, and sold in about 3 weeks. So that overall is a win for me. I hope you have a very prosperous 2025, and I will see you again next week.